let's talk about when parallel lines are cut by a transversal. What we're about to talk about only works when we have two parallel lines being cut by a transversal. So in this section, it's very important that R and S are parallel to each other. Okay, in this case, R and S are parallel to each other, so to mark that, we would put those little arrow symbols on the lines, kind of saying, what it kind of says is that R and S are going in the same direction, so they're never going to intersect. Okay, that's one way to think about it. Now, the transversal is the line that intersects our two parallel lines. Okay, really a transversal is just a line that intersects any two lines. Okay, in this case, our transversal is 2. Now, looking at the angles, there's some important notes. Okay? One note is that corresponding angles are congruent. What that means for a corresponding is if we drew circles around them, it makes it a little bit easier to see, I think. If we look at angle 1 and angle 5, they're both in that top left kind of section of that circle. Okay? So they're both top left. If R and S are parallel, then we know angle 1 and angle 5 are congruent because they're corresponding. Okay? Along with that, we know 2 and 6 are congruent, 8 and 4 are congruent, and 7 and 3 are also congruent. If you notice, our greens are both top right, our reds are both bottom right, and our blacks are both bottom left. Okay? So corresponding angles are congruent. They're both in the kind of the same area of our circles. Okay? Along with corresponding angles, we also need to make note about the different regions. Okay? There's an interior region and there's an exterior region. The interior region is in between our two parallel lines. The exterior region is on the outside. Okay, so again, the interior is between, the exterior is on the outside. Okay, interior is inside, exterior is outside. So why this is important to know is because we know that alternate interior and alternate exterior angles are also congruent. So for example, angle 1 is on the exterior region. Its alternate exterior would be angle 8. Okay? They're both on the exterior region, and alternate just means they're on different sides of the transversals. So if we were to look at angle 2, angle 2's alternate exterior counterpart would be angle 7. Okay? So again, they're both exterior, and they're also on alternate sides of our transversal. Okay. We know that angle 1 and 4 are congruent because they're vertical angles, and angle 5 and 8 are also congruent because they're vertical angles. So if we look, 4 and 5 are alternate interior because they're on alternate sides of our transversals and they're on the interior region of those parallel lines. We also know 3 and 6 are congruent because 2 and 3 are vertical, 6 and 7 are vertical. So 3 and 6 are alternate interior also, and they are congruent as well. So we know corresponding angles are congruent, and our alternate interior and alternate exterior are congruent. We also have something called same side exterior angles. Okay? If we go back, sorry, I went too far. If we go back, we notice that angle 1 and 2 are supplementary because they're a linear pair, and 2 has two green arcs on it, and 7 also has 2 green arcs. That means 2 and 7 are congruent. So what we know is that angle 1 and angle 7, being on the same side of that transversal, are supplementary. Same thing with 2 and 8. Angle 2 and angle 8 are on the same side of that transversal, and they're also supplementary. They are same side exterior angles. It would be, for example, 1 and 7. Okay. Not only are same side exterior, but also same side interior angles. So if we look, we have angle 3 and 5 are supplementary. They're on the same side of the transversal, and they're both on the interior regions. And then angle 4 and 6 are supplementary because they're also on the same side of their transversal, the right side, and in between are 2 angles. Okay? So we can actually say same side interior and same side exterior are supplementary. So again, corresponding angles are congruent. For example, 1 and 5 or 4 and 8. Alternate interior, which would be 3 and 6, or 4 and 5 are congruent. Alternate exterior, 1 and 8, 2 and 7 are congruent. And our same side interior, for example, 3 and 5 and 4 and 6 are supplementary, as well as same side exterior are supplementary, 1 and 7, 2 and 8. Okay, one way I try to get my students to remember that is corresponding angles are congruent, alternate angles are congruent, and then our same side are supplementary. Okay, they all have SSS, same side, supplementary.